Hi, first graders. This is Mrs. Williams. This is week 6, day 3 of reading. We are rereading for comprehension and gathering information. Our goal is to reread and annotate the text George Washington in order to gather evidence and information on a graphic organizer. We're going to accomplish 4 things in this lesson. We are going to reread George Washington. We will annotate the text by starring details that support the main idea. Our main idea is that George Washington is a symbol of leadership for our country. We will use our annotations to fill out 2 to 3 supporting details in the blank spaces or branches of the web graphic organizer found in your distance learning packet. And last, we will be sure to use our evidence from the text to support our answers. Let's get started. Annotate means to make notes on. These are some pictures of annotations that people have made from a text that they've read. Our first picture shows that someone used yellow highlighter to annotate their text. They highlighted the important information. This picture shows that a person used different colored highlighters to highlight different information, and they also wrote notes in the margins of the pages. This picture shows that someone made a star to show important information in the text. This is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to use stars to show information that supports our main idea. Let's get to the text. All right, we're going to use our text, George Washington, to find details that support our main idea. Our main idea is that George Washington is a symbol of leadership for our country. Anytime we see a detail that supports that main idea, we're going to put a star next to it. Introduction. George Washington was the first president of the United States. Right away, I see a detail that supports our main idea. If George Washington was the president of the United States, I know that presidents have to be leaders. George Washington was a leader of our country, so I'm going to put a star next to that. He was born in Virginia in 1732. He grew up on a farm. George went to school for a short time, but he mostly studied at home. Those are some really interesting details about where George Washington was born, how he grew up, and how he went to school. But those sentences don't tell me about George Washington being a leader. So I'm not going to put a star next to these sentences. Let's keep reading. Early life. George began working as a surveyor at age 16. In 1759, George married Martha Custis. She and her 2 children came to live with George. They lived at his plantation called Mount Vernon. These are really good details that tell me about his early life, but I don't see any details that tell me about him being a leader. So I'm not going to annotate any of these sentences with a star. I'm going to keep reading. Life's work. The Revolutionary War began in 1775. George led the Army of American Colonists. I'm just going to stop there because I know that in order for George to have led the Army of American Colonists, that he must have been a leader. Let's star it. They fought and won against Great Britain. In 1787, George led a group to form the government of the new United States of America. There's that word again, led. To lead a group means that you are a leader. Later years. In 1789, George was elected the first U.S. president. Oh yeah, to be a president, you definitely have to be a leader. He helped plan the capital city, Washington, D.C., which was named for him. George was president for 8 years. That definitely shows leadership. Many people wanted him to serve longer, but he said no. Contributions. After serving as president, George went home to Mount Vernon. He died in 1799. George fought for and helped to shape the United States. Definitely takes leadership. Let's annotate that with a star. Americans remember him as the father of his country. Great job. Thanks for annotating the text with me. Let's move on. All right, we have a web graphic organizer. I see the main idea in the middle. The main idea is that George Washington was a symbol of leadership in our country. And I see 3 spaces for details. Detail 1, detail 2, and detail 3. In order for me to complete this, I'm going to have to go back to my text where I made my annotations. So let's do that. Go back to the text. Look at your annotation and write a detail to tell about George Washington's leadership. All right, here's the first page that I annotated. It says, George Washington was the first president of the United States. I know that this detail tells me about George Washington being a symbol of leadership in our country. So I'm going to jot down this note as detail 1. First president of the United States. All right. First detail is done. Now it's your turn. Go back to the text. Review your annotations. Write 2 more details that tell how George Washington is a symbol of leadership in our country. All right, do your best and have fun. Thanks for learning with me, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.